Letecia lied about her stepfather dying, the prosecution says, so she could actually buy some time to get rid of Gannon's body. The next lie came when Stauch claimed she had been in touch with a high profile attorney who knows a thing or two about representing a woman in a high profile case accused of killing a child. It was Casey Anthony's former lead attorney.
I'm not a bad person. I'm innocent. I agreed to even take a lie detector test for you.
Well, that's not for me. I'm not going to give you a lie detector test. Well, I mean,
it's not permissible in court because it's not. I said for you to believe me.
But who are you? Have you talked to them about this lie detector test, or you just told me about it?
No, I got recalled from big time attorney. I got Jose Baez law firm willing to come and meet me. That's how much they know this is screwed up. Do you know who the Baez law firm is?
I don't pay attention to that shit.
Do you know who they represented?
No, tell me.
A lot of big time names. And they're and like People magazine, people are like pissed that they're not, that the way that things are going is not the direction of my team. And so if you don't want to be on my team to be like against them fucking everything, then these people will put it out there.
And joining me is Jose Baez, the one and only who was referenced in that piece of audio that you just heard, where Letecia Stauch talked about him contacting her about representing him. Jose Baez, welcome to Sidebar. Thanks for coming on. Have you ever been in touch with Letecia Stauch?
I thought I had addressed this, I think about a year ago when it first came out in the news, but no, the answer is no. And I usually don't comment. I would say about 95% of the time, I would never comment as to whether someone reached out to our office, because much of that is covered within the attorney-client privilege. But no, we don't have. I've never had any conversations with her. We never entertained representing her. I really don't know what this is all about. I'm a little bit disappointed that it's being brought up in a courtroom. I don't think it has any place in a courtroom as to when an accused person is seeking counsel. So I think it's highly inappropriate on both sides, whether perhaps the defense objected to it coming in, or it should have been redacted from whatever audios were played. But I think it's quite unfortunate.
It's interesting you bring that up, and I will say this because if you listen to the audio clip in which she references your name and says that the Baez law firm has called her about representing her, she talks about her willingness to take a lie detector test. And she says they're not permissible in court. I think she misunderstands the verbiage, which she's correct, but they're not admissible in court. So it's interesting that she would even be allowed to talk about a lie detector test. Obviously, she can talk about whatever she wants on a recorded phone call with her husband. But it's interesting that that would even be allowed in the courtroom.
Yes, I mean, again, even the mentioning of polygraph tests. First of all, we would never call someone to offer out our representation. I mean, that's highly unethical, and it's not something that my firm participates in. So I can tell you this. We have a full caseload, and that was not a case that I was even on my radar. I'm not even familiar with the case, to be honest with you. I know it's probably a murder case. That's about the extent of it. And I remember there was some issue with her traveling to Florida, but
Sure.
That's the extent of what I know about that case. And we certainly never called her. And I think it's highly inappropriate to talk about polygraphs or lawyers in a case. I don't know what that proves or disproves in a murder case, period. So I think it's quite unfortunate that this is going on.
Yeah, I think it's probably all about her telling these multiple stories. That's been a theme throughout this case, is that she told multiple stories about what happened to her stepson. She's now using an insanity defense. So it's an affirmative defense, meaning you basically admit you did it, but you're saying you didn't know right from wrong at the time.
Yeah, maybe it's part of her defense that she's insane, that she's imagining that she called our office. I have no idea.